Right? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Suzanne Boyd, and we have
Gary Miller.
Gary, the insurance wizard. I dressed up for you today, Gary.
I know.
I feel like we should be going out, not giving health advice, right?
It's prom time.
That's right. It is prom time. Where's my corsage? All right. So today we are talking about short-term medical. And it's funny, after you mentioned this on the phone, I was like, let me go check my insurance policy because I'd never even heard of this.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, short-term it was designed for just what it says, short-term.
Yeah.
You know, in between positions, in between jobs, you would have a short-term policy to take you from one job to another. But since Obamacare is open enrollment from November through the end of December, short-term medical has become the standard, which unfortunately,
and
there are a lot of pitfalls.
And people don't know they're getting into this short-term medical health insurance coverage,
a lot of times,
right?
that's correct.
All right, so there is a clause that actually you can look out for that that will basically tell you whether or not you have a short-term medical policy. And who should be looking out for these things?
Well, anyone that goes into buying insurance right now should be looking for the short-term clause, which...
And it looks like this. It's
it
on
looks
the phone.
like that.
Yeah. It basically says that you're going to have to renew this policy.
Yeah, they're not renewable policies. So every time the short term, whether it's a 3-month, a 6-month, or a 12-month, or an 18-month policy, it has to be renewed. And the pitfall there is that if you've developed a medical condition in that period of time, well, they may not renew your policy because now you have a pre-existing condition, which is pretty scary.
So what can you do if you realize you've gotten into one of these policies and can you, let's say they put you in one, can you get out?
Yeah, oh sure, absolutely. You know, you can cancel them at any time and then just call me. We can put you in a permanent policy.
Yeah.
And that's really what you want. You want permanent insurance, not temporary insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are because I feel like what's the time frame? Like you're talking 6 months, a year, 2 years,
Well, they've
3
extended
years?
they've extended them out to even 12 months and 18 months right now. I've seen some short-term policies even 36 months, which is better. But one of the problems there is that they do medical underwriting at time of claim. They'll ask you some medical questions up front, but then if you have a claim, then they'll go back and then look at your medical history, and then they may deny your claim based on the underwriting at time of policy. So it's pretty scary when that happens.
So a long-term policy is something that you get automatically renews, right?
It automatically guaranteed renewable.
Okay, so the short-term policy is the thing that you would have to renew every few years or few months, depending on what
whatever
the
the
term
duration
is.
of that policy is.
And you need to go look at your policy.
You need to look at it.
Are there some questions you should be asking your agent beforehand? Yeah. Like, are you putting me in a short-term medical policy?
Is this a short-term policy?
Yeah.
And how long is the duration of the policy?
Yeah. That's
really the most important question, because so many people get into these plans and they don't realize that they have a short-term policy until it's too late.
Yeah.
That's not something you want to be.
All right, so Gary, we've had some people wanting to ask you questions because a lot of people have questions about health insurance because it can be very confusing. So today we're starting a new segment called Ask Gary. And we start with Jean, who is approaching 65 and she's about to sign up for Medicare. So here's Jean's question.
Hi, Gary. My question is, I'm approaching 65 years old, and so I'm going to qualify for Medicare. But my question is, when I talked to my Blue Cross Blue Shield people, they said, oh, we can set you up with that. Are they really the best people to take care of setting me up on my Medicare? That's it.
She's like, what's the name of it again? Oh, right, Medicare. So what should she do?
Well, first, she should investigate all the options out there, because there's a lot of options. Of course, you're going to have your Medicare A and B, but then you're going to have supplements, and that's really where so many people get confused, because it is confusing. There's a lot of supplements out there. Our company doesn't handle over the age of 65, but there's a nonprofit out there called Shine, and they'll just guide you through all the choices, and based on your particular need, then you can make that decision.
They'll help you.
And then you can find an agent, because they don't sell. They'll just advise.
Yeah. So, so her question about Blue Cross Blue Shield signing her up, they want the
They want the business. Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
So of course they say they can help her.
Right.
But is she getting any decrease benefit by signing up through Blue Cross Blue Shield or doing it on our own?
Not at
No.
all. Not at all.
She
There's a lot of different, Part D, Part E. F, unfortunately, is going away, Part F, but you'll have your Medicare A and B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go with Shine,
Yeah,
which is a
just
nonprofit that
nonprofit.
can kind of guide
Yeah.
you in the right direction, maybe first before
Exactly.
you go through a
Yeah.
health insurance company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question is from Taylor. And I remember this when I was young, not young anymore, but when the millennials these days, they're getting their first jobs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you get that open enrollment from your company that says, okay, you have to choose a plan.
Right.
Okay, so let's listen to Taylor's question.
Hi Gary, I just graduated college and got my first real job. There are so many healthcare options. How do I decide?
Okay, so how do you pick like that expensive one or the middle one or the really cheap one?
We were all young at one time, and we all thought that we could never get sick or never get hurt. Typically what it is with millennials right now is that you really need just catastrophic, just in case something big happens. And of course injury, because that's typically where a lot of millennials wind up with medical expenses.
Yeah.
Their lifestyle.
So what does
sports.
catastrophic look like?
Catastrophic is something with a higher deductible, keep your cost low, and just have it there just in case, something major would have happened.
So
because
it's-
the risk for injury the risk for illness at that age is low.
Problems. Yeah. So usually that's the lowest option because it has the highest deductible, but you're paying the least out of pocket every month,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
So that's the smartest one maybe for
Yeah.
millennials, and the older you
Yeah.
get, the more expensive you need to have the policy, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the risk.
Yeah. All
It's
right.
just managing the risk, that's all it is.
Yeah. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Right on the screen, 561-222-9435, or on my website, email me, which my website is up on the screen right now. But the best way to reach me is my cell
number.
phone. My
Yes,
cell phone.
guys, cell phone on it right
My
now,
cell
so you
phone
can
is there.
call him.
Yeah. And it's been vibrating.
Has it? So people must be calling.
Somebody's calling.
That's right. And if you have any questions for Gary, any health insurance issues, he's been in the business for more than 30 years,
It's
right?
almost 30 years.
Almost 30
Yeah,
years.
I hate to
So
say.
he knows a lot about this business.
I
and
got
kind
in
of,
it when I was 10.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
That's what I say, Gary. All right, so make sure you join us for Gary the Insurance Wizard every month. I can't even speak today. I don't know what's wrong with me. And make sure you call Gary if you have any questions or leave a comment, and he'll answer you here on his Facebook and YouTube channel. All right.
Absolutely. Thanks, Suze.
Thanks, Gary. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.